This is week 4 for progress on robot hockey, group number 4. This week, our assignments were along the lines of making progress on our code development and trying to make our motors work and just test to make sure that everything is working. Looking at the architecture of the chassis that we have, and then just developing the CAD model so we can more map things out.
Here's our code for the joystick. For the resting value is around 508, 515, between that range. And then the switch is 1 when you're not pushing on the button, but once you push the joystick in, that goes to 0. For our code, we'll probably adjust that so any error will be taken out. Also for our transmitter, the code is almost done. It's being worked on. There's just a lot more components that we have to do to hardware that up.
For our motor, we've already tested most of the motors by directly adding them to power. But right now we're working on code to get them to work with the Arduino. Here you see is a test code for the motor. It's just the basic turn the motor on, turn the motor off, sort of thing.
So for architecture of for the robots for our robot hockey, we decided to go with the chassis of these RC cars just because it made it easier for us to map things out, and we can see how the wires and everything will be set. And as we can see here, there's a front axle area that has a stepper motor that uses it to turn the RC car, or for us, it will be the robot. And then in the back, there's a typical servo motor that will control forward, back, and just the overall speed of it. And so we were thinking of being able to basically take everything out of here and put in our microcontroller based system, our motors, using these wheels, and in order to build our robot from the chassis.
So here's a pretty preliminary and basic CAD model of the chassis that we are using, shown here on an isometric view as well as a top view. Using this CAD model, we're going to begin planning and locating where the motors, microcontroller, and the battery pack will go. And here is a right side view of the same chassis.
So for the different types of motors that we were looking at, there's the differential drive robot, which is essentially the types of robots that we use in lab for the different types of line following mechanisms and everything like that that we were doing. And that's the 2 wheels with just a pivoting wheel in the front. And so we can either develop these chassis into something like that by placing a pivot in the front versus having the front axle steering for extra code, which would make it easier for us. But as a design project, we thought we can maybe figure out how to make like a front turning robot in this aspect, but we will see with code development how all that goes. And so with that, that is our week 4 progress. And if you have any questions, you can contact either me or Tavis Allen.